What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. We just broke down every single game on the NFL card starring Rob Bebeneck, special guest, the whale capper. If you want to watch the whole video, it is exclusively on odds.com. Just hit the link on the bottom of the screen. It will take you right there. Let's get to work. Packers at Colts, 7-2 Packers, 4-1 on the road at Indianapolis Colts, 6-3, 3-1 at home. The Colts open up as minus 2.5 point favorites at Bet365. It was juiced to minus 120. Now it's minus 110. We still see 2.5s across the board. The total opened up at 51.5. There are 51, so a slight move towards the under. Packers coming off a very underwhelming 24-20 victory at home over Jacksonville. Aaron Rodgers, 24-34, 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Valdez-Scantling caught 4 passes for 149 yards, including 78-yard TD. Davante Adams, 8 catches for 66 yards. Aaron Jones, we talked about him as a possible bet on Sunday from a prop standpoint, and we got off of it by the end of the conversation, and good thing. But the idea was that the Packers were going to be up by 20 points and just running the ball. And then the thought was maybe Aaron Jones still recovering from injury. Maybe he's not going to – maybe LaFleur's not going to want to push him too hard. And he ran 13 times for 46 yards. Green Bay played without starting quarterbacks Jair Alexander, concussion and hand injury, and Kevin King, quadriceps injury. Both are listed questionable again this week. Safety Will Redmond and wide receiver Darius Shepard are both questionable. Tyler Ervin, their kick returner, and backup running back, left with a rib injury. He's questionable. They did sign David Bakhtiari, to a giant contract, 4-year deal, $105.5 million, $30 million signing bonus. I know they drafted a quarterback in the first round in Love, but at least they're going to protect whoever's back there. Before we get into the Colts, let's talk about the Packers. Whale capper, Packers, Colts.
I'm a Packer guy this week. Looking for them on the money line. Probably my play of the week. I got a very decisive split here in terms of how Aaron Rodgers is playing indoors in clean weather, winds under 10 miles an hour. He has been spectacular this season. You get a little bit of wind up, 10, 12 miles an hour, 20, 30 miles an hour. And he loses a little bit of the confidence in his deep ball. He doesn't take the chances. He holds onto the ball a little bit longer. He's a little bit more susceptible to the pass rush. Now you take him indoors. I think he is going to be spectacular against this defense, which I still think is overrated. Xavier Rhodes has played very, very well this year, but Aaron Rodgers absolutely picked him apart last couple of seasons. He just embarrassed him in Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. They ran Xavier Rhodes out of Minnesota. Period. Like they had no answer for these guys. And honestly, the style of defense that the Colts play, where they play this deep zone, keep everything in front of you. You give that to Aaron Rodgers, he's going to pick you apart. I have a very tough time figuring out how the Indy defense is going to get off the field in this one. If the fully healthy offensive line there, the high motivation game, the Packers are underdogs in this spot. They don't have a lot of games left on their schedule where they're expected to be competing. So I think you get an A+ effort out of them. Great game plan from LaFleur here. You can really attack this defense if you do it right. And I think Aaron Rodgers is exactly that guy. And then you flip the script and you say, do we see a true performance from Phillip Rivers and the Colts against that Tennessee team? He had all the time in the world, under no pressure, realistically just could not ask for a better situation in terms of a defense to face if you're Phillip Rivers than the Tennessee Titans. And I think that's inflated people's perception of him. The Packers defense isn't to be trusted, but for the most part, I think this is a score and answer type of game. I don't think this is this sets up very similarly to, say, week 1 when the Packers just had their way with the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings obviously have a power run game with Dalvin Cook. They can they can embarrass this Packers defense, which is not to be trusted. That's fine. But I at least liked what I saw from the Packers in terms of generating a pass rush last week. That was a positive sign. We haven't seen much of that from them this season. So the fact that if you can get any pressure on Phillip Rivers, force him into a couple of turnovers, I think you're getting the sell high spot on the Colts anyway. This should be a pick 'em by my numbers, so I'll take the money line at plus 120 and be pretty happy in this spot.
Ooh, shit. Bebsie, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of the same as Wales saying here. Specifically, just the fact that the Green Bay Packers came off that ugly loss against the Vikings, and then they had an ugly win against the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars. I just feel like this is a spot where Green Bay shows up. Aaron Rodgers is due to absolutely carve somebody up. And look, the injuries on the defense to King and Alexander, I've said this before with Phillip Rivers, it's not a factor. It's not like he's picking corners apart regardless of who's there. So if this turns into a shootout, this is absolutely going in Green Bay's favor because Phillip Rivers just can't throw the ball anymore. So they rely on a run-first game with their defense playing well. But Aaron Rodgers indoors, he's finally got all his weapons back. This is just a good spot for Green Bay. They haven't been playing well. They should not be 2.5-point dogs in this game. And again, I got to agree. This is a sell high time against Indy, and yeah, the Packers to me seem like the value pick here.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Colts are on extra rest and preparation after their convincing 34-17 win at Tennessee on Thursday night. Rivers goes 29-39 for 308 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Pittman stepping up, 7 catches for 101 yards. Nyheim Hines, how do you not fall in love with this guy? 24th birthday, flips in the end zone. I need a Nyheim Hines jersey. 12 carries for 70 yards, 5 catches for 45 yards. TD in the ground and through the air. T.Y. Hilton returned to the lineup, 4 catches for 40 yards. I don't fully understand what's going on with him other than his grandma is angry. The no-huddle offense looked very good. The Colts came in with the NFL's best defense in terms of fewest yards allowed. Colts held the Tennessee offense to be averaging 384.6 yards to 294. Darius Leonard led the way again. The guy's just unbelievably good with 9 tackles. Kenny Moore left Thursday's game with a rib injury. Their cornerback still being evaluated. Jack Doyle went into concussion protocol and is still not being cleared. Your bullishness on the Packers is extremely interesting, and I love it. Whale Capper, this total, we had Leonard Welsh ask about the total, opened up at 51.5, and it's now moving towards 51. What do you think about it? You making a move?
I would look for the over here because I see the Packers playing from ahead. And I think they're going to be able to continue to score in this game, which I think puts and honestly, their defense plays really poor prevent defense. They don't close the door. Like they do not slam the door behind them. They gave up 2 terrible late touchdowns to the Niners on Thursday Night Football. They gave up some late scores to Minnesota when they were cleaning up in week 1. A lot of examples this week where they've given up some soft scores late. And I would think that that plays to an over.
Bebsie, any final thoughts? Are you going to make a move on the Packers, and what do you think of the total?
Yeah, I want to take the Packers and the points here.
You want the points and not the money line?
Yeah.
Okay.
The total I'm a little less bullish on, again, just because I wonder if Phillip Rivers can answer the bell. If he has to throw, I mean, even when he's connecting, it looks ugly. So I can't get on the over because of my lack of trust in Phillip Rivers right now. So for that, I'll stay off that. I get it. I appreciate why you would be on the over. If you gave me a free play, I'd probably take the over. I'm just not super confident in that. And certainly not as confident as I am as Green Bay with a bounce back week. Even coming off a win, it still feels like a bounce back spot for them.
I can offer you from FoxBet a +3, the only +3 around. It is at -118. Do you want that? I can give you a +2.5 at -110. Actually, sorry. I can give you a +2.5 at +100. Oh, you know why? It's because that 3's gone. That 3 just left.
Yeah,
That 3 just left. You can't have it.
that's fine. I wasn't terribly keen on it, anyways.
Okay, that's how
I don't think it's going to come into play.
the legend Loshak taught us that until you confirm a move, you have to be truthful to what the odds page delivers. It's plus 2.5 at plus 100. That's pretty nice for a plus 100. Is that what you want, or do you want to talk money line?
No. I'll take the points in this.
Plus 2.5.
My only
getting it for a flat 100. That's fair.
Yeah, and also shout out to the legend Lodos Loshak. A treat to say his name. Okay, we move on. That was a fun breakdown. It just gets more fun because now we got Chiefs Raiders. Chiefs Raiders is up next. Woo-hoo-hoo. Chiefs open up at -7. There's 6.5s on the board. There's also some 7s. There's total open up at 55. And there's wait, you know what? I know I made that a nice little intro to the game, but I stopped myself just because JT said Packers team total. And with everything that you guys are saying, you have to think that the Packers team total is a very appealing spot, and it's at 24.5. Well, it's juiced to the under.
That's pretty shocking. I mean, 24.5 is a tricky number. Obviously, you had what was Baltimore score when they handled Indy 2 weeks ago? Did they get 24? They landed right on 24. Yeah. I think they get it. I would make fair price 27. But I honestly I would almost say shop around or try to sell some points there because 25 is not a key number. Obviously, 26 is barely ever landed on. So if they get over 24.5, it's going to be 27. See if you can get a better price on 26.5, maybe.
Wow. And is it because you think you get a better price?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not. I just see the likelihood of them landing on 25 or 26 is really low. I think this is I personally I have a long tail of them getting into the 30s and 40s in this one. So I think this is going to be a big game for them.
Wow. So you love the team total over then? not at that spot.
Yeah, I can get more down on the money line though, so that's where I'm going to go.
Bebsie, what do you think of that team total over?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the appeal here, and again, I kind of have to back up what I'm saying here, that I like that team total over, but I also, for the same apprehension I have about this over in general, it's not enticing enough for me to jump on.
Okay, now I'll do the proper transition. That I should have just gone with it, but I was too excited about it.